I'm Idara, Chief Strategist, Publicist, and Marketing Officer at Freeme Music.
And I'm the digital strategist at Freeme Music.
And actually in this episode, we will be talking about creating effective strategies for your new releases, traditional and digital PR, marketing tactics, and the importance of social media. So Namdi, I think you would agree that the cultural market is a very competitive universe, and music not only informs culture, it essentially is culture. So to make a good cultural product reach its audiences, it is essential to make good usage of a good communication strategy. A strategy is basically a design plan that informs how you effectively meet your goals and objectives for any particular project, especially towards the identified audiences of said project from pre-release, release, and post-release in order for brand continuity. I think that this is where storytelling comes into play. What's your narrative? What personality have you infused in the story to engage and excite audiences? Every artist needs to put together a well-informed technique that identifies, draws attention, and ultimately gets their target audience to engage with their music. It actually makes zero sense, investment-wise, to spend a lot on recording your music without a carefully thought-out process of marketing it. Yeah, and if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So, I mean, it's up to you. Do what you got to do.
Firstly, you must identify, then shape before you promote. So basically, it's just like a tailor. You make clothes and you have to make it as a perfect fit. So who is your target audience? Where do they converge? Where do they spend most of their time online? Going further, this goes into where your audience converges and informs the strategy you use and the best channels. Apart from traditional tactics such as engaging with press, radio, television, venues, fans, and other brands, digital tactics are incredibly effective, and the internet and its offspring, social media, have created the biggest shift in the world of communications. Go digital, social media mailing lists, display ads, digital content creators, quote unquote influencer marketing. This can all be tweaked into a functioning mix of or some, depending on the type of audience and your goal.
I mean, I would say think of social media as a decentralized system in the music ecosystem, right? The rise of social media platforms has torn up the old communication rulebook because now any artist can easily connect with his or her audience. You can record in your bedroom and upload on major platforms at the tap of a button, and the platform can be just as important as the messaging of your comm strategy as we continue to see an upward trend in the massive democratization of creativity. So, I mean, I think firstly, regardless of your genre of music, your audience is most likely glued to social media. Instagram recently passed like a billion active users, and Facebook has about 2 billion active users. Twitter and Snapchat have almost 400 million active users daily. So having an optimized social media presence can more effectively boost visibility for your music and your brand. I think right now, obviously, no one can deny that we live in a visually driven society. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, even WhatsApp with the status feature. It's memes, pictures, videos, or GIFs. And the best way to utilize your social media is by first optimizing your profile. Make sure you have a clean page, your profile pictures and covers are, correctly sized for social. Make your profile or bio link count by always pointing out your latest promotion, whether it's a new song, whether it's an album, tour or merch, and ensure that any and all profile information is accurate and up to date, including your tour events. Create compelling art covers and high quality content.
At the end of the day, you just have to be very, very, very intentional with social media. Like she said earlier, optimization. So your bio, what is in your bio? It's not just putting a random or a broken link in your bio, or putting a descriptive content in your bio that doesn't resonate with who you are as an artist or your target audience, right? And then, at the end of the day, putting out relatable content. No one just wants to see pictures of you. Of course, we want to see pictures of you, but then it has to be relatable. It has to be something that we can connect with. We want to see behind the scenes pictures. We want to see videos of you recording in the studio. We want to see while you were doing stuff, probably linking up with some other artists. These are content. These are things that will actually bring people in, real people in, to know that yes, apart from being an artist, you're a real person. So
And
be
I would
intentional.
say like smart tagging and hashtagging too, because that's
Yeah.
very important, right? So you want to tag venues, shout them out when you're performing, shout out other musicians that you feature with, basically even boost brands, any brand ambassadorship that you have at the moment or whatever. You definitely want to do that. There's really a lot you can do with your social media in the best ways. I think that it's just important to always keep your followers in the loop, and just make sure that you're, as Namdi said, always be intentional with it, so that the ultimate gain of having real followers actually comes to fruition.
Yeah, so every artist has their strengths and weaknesses. Marketing yourself as a brand follows this principle. Who are you? Who's your target audience? So the best way possible to sell yourself is not to just create an abstract identity. Sell who you are as a person in the best way possible. Are you funny? Social media creates that. You could use Instagram, a reference to files. You can become an online personality, a funny personality rather. You can create an alter ego in a way that separates you as an artist and then the character. This opens up opportunities for influencer marketing, brand ambassadorships, and sponsorships as well.
Yeah, I would say at the end of the day, music is a product, so finding bridges to tap into potential audiences is always a plus. And then one of the other things you were actually talking about the other day is like having a talent manager as an artist.
Yeah, so it's easy to blur these lines. You can just fall off and then become an Instagram personality instead of being an artist, right? At the end of the day, the content is the music. That's where you're driving people to, as the home. So you have to blur the lines. The talent manager helps you define these roles and then helps you channel activities to one and the other.
If you love me. I mean, yeah, the best narratives actually create consistent and meaningful brand personalities and messages and spread them to available media channels strategically. So you have to create a strong, consistent voice that is approachable and the right fit for your brand with the kind of content you're pushing, that also allows you to stay relevant. And I think, and in pushing your story or your narrative, your music, your brand, media becomes so incredibly important because it helps to bring transparency, authenticity, honesty and respect to your narrative and to your brand. One of the bigger steps to visibility is obviously exploring the relevance and credibility of journalistic outlets. Effective communication is always 360 degrees, and the media communicate with the public on a daily basis. So managing your relationship with the media as an artist can therefore bring valuable benefits to your music and your brand, and most immediately, free editorial coverage that develops the awareness of you and your music or publicizes specific events or activities, right? So there are three major types of media that you need to know: paid, owned, and earned media. Paid media is exactly that: ads on media, even social networks, and search engines that you have to place. Paid media is a great way to drive traffic to owned media and to generate content for earned media. Owned media is proprietary mix of content created by a company or brand. As an artist, you should always think of yourself as an entire brand, by the way, and is wholly owned by it, right? So for example, a website, a blog that is crafted by a company and distributed via its URL. It's not organic, but it's a great way for the public to engage with your brand. Now, earned media is the dream, right? Because that's what everyone covets, because it's a sweet spot where consumers craft the message of your brand and spread the word via word of mouth or their social media and networks, influencing and amplifying it. It also includes publicity secured through promotional efforts, which is also known as pitching. Basically, it's very important to make sure that you do your research to know the types of media that there are, who you can reach out to, and who you can connect with, because that's a little bit, it makes your life easier.
And in simpler terms, paid media is you reaching out to blogs, reaching out to publications, and all of that. Owned media is what you put out, your own content. Earned media can be UGC, user-generated content, wherever a random person posts that is related to your brand.
Right.
That's a video that has your music in it, that's earned media. Then you know that you're earning it from the user, yeah?
Right.
And then on certain narratives, access to all publications or blogs or media houses doesn't mean they are relevant to your music,
yeah, exactly.
per time, right? So you have this music, you have this theme of messaging from the music it doesn't mean it has to be on this publication or blog that doesn't have anything to do with it.
Right, exactly. So that's basically, I mean, it for now. I hope you learned something. Thanks for watching, guys, and
We'll be back.
We'll be back on more about marketing and PR and social media and all that. So like this video, comment, and if you have any questions, let us know and we'll answer them.
Subscribe, refer.
Bye.